All right, guys. So welcome to this live session here with your host, Dre Day FX. So as we do every day, we look at the Forex indices and metal markets. So hope everyone had a great morning here. It's Friday, last day of the week. So let's get it here. Sorry about the delay. I was looking at something here in regards to the decoding for the automation. So everything is good to go here on that. So let's get on to it here, guys. So yesterday was a pretty good day overall for the markets. But as we always do, we're gonna look at the news calendar to see exactly if we have any high impact news today. We had the GDP month to month for British pound here, so that was negative here, -1%. We're expecting minus 0.1%. We're expecting 0.1%. Last month was at minus 0.1%. So it didn't change from last month. So it should be a continuation here in that trend. And other than that, good trade balance here, minus 22.5 billion. We're expecting minus 19, so that's negative also. So pretty much British pound here is pretty much negative here overall. If I look at the data here, I'm not gonna go in depth here on all of them, but it's really negative here overall. And other than that, we don't have any U.S. news. We have the FOMC speaker at around that was at 8 this morning, but nothing else here of importance here. Yeah, we have the German PMI, final PMI here. CPI, sorry, that was minus 0.2%. Last month was a minus 0.2%, so didn't change. So that's perfect. So that was this. Now let's look at the TV alert app. So this is the app that provide you with alerts in regard to the market, and especially for the institutional liquidity here, provide you exactly with the bias here of the direction of the market. So pretty simple to understand the app. So you have the Bloomberg and Fox Business ticker here, news articles. So if you want to have some updates of what's happening here in the world of economy, especially in the US, make sure to look at those two sites. Really, really interesting here to look for. And then we have the signal ticker. So we only had two signals here at London. So we had the sell on French 40 and a buy on UK 100. So we'll see exactly if it makes sense to take those two trades here, those two directions, to see exactly if it makes sense to take that direction. And you have the upcoming, the latest alert. That was UK 100 signals here for the day. And you could look at the previous day's signals here also. And you see that you have my name here, Dre Day FX, and the actual strategy, that is the LIT. LIT is acronym to that is the Liquidity Institutional Tracker. All right, so this is the way that the indicator is called. And at the bottom, you have the TV economic calendar. So giving you the high impact news here for the country that you're trading on. So like I said, we don't have any news for this week anymore. The next upcoming day will be on the 16th. We have a big red folder day in the market. So we will look into it here next week. I think next week, what's going to happen, I may reduce the amount of lives here starting next week, because it's the last week before the holidays. So I think I'm going to be opening up. I'll see exactly if I'm going to do a live or not, but we'll see about that. All right. So perfect. And then we're going to be looking at. Make sure here. I'm going to look at the indicators here going to be using. So the first one is point of control about weighted average price. So it's the POC. So this is this line here is the point of control here from the last day's price action, and the volume weighted average price from yesterday's price action. And also you have the current POC and VWAP. So right now we're trading below the VWAP and POC, dynamic POC. Next we have pivot points. So providing with the pivot points here. So we're creating lower highs and higher lows. So now we're basically doing a squeeze basically. So if we're going down, we need to break those pivot points here to the downside. If not, if we're going up, we're going to be creating a new high. So breaking out those previous lows, previous highs. And finally, we have supply and demand. So this one will provide you with the supply and demand zone in the market. And I'm just gonna change that to the current time frame. Oh, yeah, there you go. So right now we're at a supply zone. So we did had a big demand zone right here, or the smaller one is the supply zone. So it's gonna be interesting here today. So usually I don't take trades here on Fridays, but I'm just doing some tests here in the background with the automation just to make sure that everything is looking good on that. So it's 9:27. We're gonna have basically we're gonna be looking at the the market that we're going to be looking at will be US30, Nasdaq, S&P 500, Russell, German, and gold. So yesterday we had a lot of signals here, but today that's what we're going to be looking at. And I'm just going to look at the UK 100 trade direction that we had. So we had a buy signal here that was at 303, and the sell signal was at 3 o'clock even. So 303 and 3 o'clock. Yeah, so basically UK 100 we had a buy. So if you have taken that buy, it was pretty much right here. Small scalp here for a buy here. And France, we had I think it was a sell also. So that is a sell. Go back here on the thing. Yeah, so that was a sell on France 40 at 3. So it went up. So the only one that made sense was the UK 100 one. All right, so market will open here in a couple of minutes here. So we're going to be focusing on US30. As always, I'm just going to close that. All right, the market is opening right now. All right. All right. So let's look at the 4 hour and see what's going on here on that. 4 hour is looking bearish here. So I'm gonna close. Close that. Yeah. So right now on the H4, it's looking bearish here on US30. So if we go back here on the 15, so now we're just waiting for it to break. So we have those pivot points here, creating lower highs. So high, lower high, lower high. So if we're actually going up, we need to break that previous lower high here. If not, should be going down here. So Russell 2000 is a sell. So if we go back here on Russell 2000, yeah, it's going down right now. So we're at a point of control right here. We're at a point of control. So if we're breaking out of that point of control, we have some leeway here to the downside. Should be expecting the same thing on US30. Just waiting for it to do its thing. Usually, Russell will give the play before US30. But right now, we're basically consolidating after that move that we had yesterday. So I consider that a trap zone. So this is where they're trapping liquidity here, tracking orders, and making their move to the upside or downside. So US30 is a sell. So we're in a strange range here. So we have a US30 sell and a Russell sell. So like I said, if it makes sense to take the setup here, guys, you could take it. But if it doesn't follow your trading plan, sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. So 2 signals here so far. All right, so we are arranging here. What the fuck is that? All right, so US30, we're at a sell, but like I said, we're already ranging. So just you don't have any confirmation that it's going down here. The last pivot point is right here. So as long as we don't pass this point, we're still bullish here. So this pivot point right here, boom. And this pivot point right here. All right. So those are the two levels that I'm looking for. So right now we're ranging. So you should be waiting here and waiting for a break of structure. You could use this point here as a break of structure, but the next this point of control was already broken to the upside. Now we're waiting for a sell, so that's exactly what we have here. So now it should be a good time here to sell off that US30. So it's US30, USSP 500. So what is it? 942. So let's look at the SSP 500. So we have a sell in S&P 500. So same thing. You have the pivot point right here. We're waiting for a breaker structure of this one. If yes, we have a next pivot point that is at bottom right here. We're below the point of control. That's actually the sell also. So right now we have this pivot point here. We have this low right here, and we have those lows here at the bottom here also. So if you have taking that, if you're taking a sell here off, so we also have a sell here on Nasdaq. Let's look at Nasdaq here. You have money. I have money. So we have sell here also. Still bullish, still bullish. All right, so let's go back here on US30. So we had the Russell sell, US30 sell, Nasdaq sell, and S&P 500 sell. So we'll see where we're at right, based off of that. All right, so we are still bullish here. We have a pivot. We have a lower high here. All right, so we're pushing here to the upside. So that means that we're not finishing going up. So still pushing here. Let's see. Okay, I'm done with that. That's perfect. So if we go back here on NASDAQ and S&P 500, I think they're switching. Everything is buying here right now. NASDAQ, yeah. US30. Yeah, still bullish here. We are still bullish. Let's get the H1. We are still bullish. What's this? on 55 still. Looking to see exactly what the US30. It went to grab some liquidity at the top here. So I'm pretty sure they're starting to create a new lower high. So still have 4 minutes left before that candle close. But I'm expecting to have the price going short here. It seems to be creating a doji here, especially on the 15. So at market open, you were going up. So it went down here, started to go up here after that. Let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is still bearish here. Yeah. So S&P 500, NASDAQ down. US30 was supposed to be sell, but didn't go through. Now Russell is reversing. So we have this high right here. This is the highest point that we had on US30. We have a higher low. Right now we're trying to find a new lower high. Pretty sure that will be pretty much here. And then we should be breaking to the downside here. So we have a new lower high, a higher low right here. So now I could adjust the pivot point here of interest. So I will put it right here. So we have a new pivot point. Even though the price is right here, I always put it on the body. So right here, more or less. Now we want to see a pivot point to be created here. And if so, we have new pivots to be rated here to the bottom. And this pivot point that will be created will be a lower high pivot point. So that will confirm a downtrend off of this price action. And if we actually going down, we need to break those lows here. All right. So now we went to grab some liquidity at the top. Now we're waiting for it to break to the downside. US30 to sell. So we just got to sell here on US30. So we have a sell on US30. So it'll be 10 in about a couple of seconds here. So remember, if we're looking at the 4-hour candle, we need to have a rate to the upside or downside before doing the actual move here. All right. So if we go back here on the 4 hour, 4 hour is right here. We have a small retracement here on that 4 hour candle. Now we want to see if price want to continue to the downside or to the upside. Right now, it seems to be pushing here to the downside. We tried to reach this pivot point right here, even on the lower time frame. If we look at the 1 hour, we have a pivot point that is created on the 1 hour. We just got the 10 o'clock candle here that started, so we should be going down right now. All right. So 10 o'clock just started. So we should be rating here. So we stop grabbing the liquidity. We have the pivot point that I was talking about earlier, guys, that I was waiting for. We have that. So now we should be pushing to the downside here, breaking those lows. Maybe a retracement a little bit more to the upside again to create a new lower high. But we should be selling off right now. So we'll just wait for that 50-minute candle here to close, and we're going to close our session here for the week. So next week, I think I'm going to do a session here on Monday, then Wednesday, and then on Thursday, Friday. And we'll be done for the year. So the last 2 weeks of December, I take a break before starting back up in January. So I think I'm going to be out for at least maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Recharge, look at what we did here overall this year. Compared to last year, we did see some growth here in regards to my own training, my own my growth here in regards to automation and coding. So really happy of what happened here this year. So next year is going to be awesome also. And I have a few projects here lined up. So and hopefully my eyes will get better here overall with all the treatments and new products that I saw that could help my vision here overall. All right, so top of the hour here. Let's look at the H4. Went grab some liquidity here at the bottom. So we'll see exactly if it wants to push to the downside. Pretty much consolidated here since yesterday. So since last night, since Asian session, it's was consolidating here big time. We need to see if price wants to go down. We did want to grab some liquidity here at the top. Don't think they're gonna go there again, so should be selling off here. All right, so now we're pushing here. There we go. Oh, we're selling. That's what we wanted to see. So now we're, like I said, waiting for this pivot to be broken to the downside. If so, we should be up to the races here to the downside. All right, so we are pushing here. It's breaking down. We still have 10 minutes left here. 10 minutes, 5 minutes left. Not 10, 5. Thanks for all sessions which you. Hello, Elian. Yes. So happy New Year and happy holidays. We're not finished yet, so I may have some few things here for you, but it's not bad. Hey, Bell. Come on, Ebel, join. The fuck? All right, so let's 9:45, 10, 12. All right, so I don't think we're gonna have another signal here, but like I said, we are selling off here on US 30, so should be looking for a downtrend here overall. Yeah, so we just broke that level, so we are selling off right now. So we should be going down right now. I don't know, on the 10-minute, it's 15 is right here. So we have higher low, lower high here that was created, that pivot point. So the next levels here will be those. And we're currently going down. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add where is the indicator? 40 is a sell. So so we have German for sell. So everything is looking to the downside here. So expecting to go short here until the end of the day here, guys, on that US30. So that's looking good here overall. All right. So yeah, so let's close out here, guys. So good session. So that's what I was expecting here on US30 to go down. So we went down, took some liquidity at the top. If we go back here on the 15, So basically, we're waiting for it to break to the downside. So we were entering here. So 9:30, we had this candle here, and then we went up, grab some liquidity at the top, and then started to break to the downside here. So right now we are selling off right now. So that's what we're expecting. So we're at the point of control right now. So should be going short here right now. So that's perfect. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being on this live. Be back here next week for another session here with your host Dre Day FX. I'm gonna have a couple of days here of trading here before the start the end of the year. So next week will be the last week of trading. And if you have access to the TV alert app, the signals will still be running here 24/7. Not 24/7, but Monday to Friday. It's still going to be working. And yeah, so we're going to be looking for next week, next week here for another session here. All right. So I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back here on Monday. Have a great one. Peace.